Constructed in 1818 for naval hero Stephen Decatur and his wife, the Decatur House is one of the oldest homes left in Washington, D.C. Today, it's a museum for African American history in hopes of distracting tourists from its grim past. Many visitors to the Decatur House will often feel nauseous or dizzy. A lot of times they'll have to grab onto nearby furniture just to make sure they don't fall over. And in some severe cases, they'll even have to run to the bathroom to vomit, or even have internal bleeding for several days after their tour. They'll wonder, am I coming down with a virus? Do I have food poisoning? And they'll go to doctors, and doctors will not be able to give them an adequate answer. And that's because this is due to paranormal activity due in the house because of Stephen Decatur's ghostly hold on the house. Stephen Decatur died 2 days after excruciating agony from being shot in the gut. James Barron is the one who shot him, and he was also a naval officer. You may wonder, why would two U.S. naval officers want to be in a deadly duel with one another? Well, what happened is that in 1807, James Barron was in charge of the USS Chesapeake. Now, they were attacked by a British naval ship, and instead of trying to fight them, he pretty much just surrendered. Because of this, the British people took 4 people aboard. One of them they hung, and the other few were severely, basically beaten. This was during the young United States, so obviously this was very embarrassing. So what happened is that they stripped Barron of his duties for 5 years, and Stephen Decatur happened to be on that jury to decide that. So in 1820, which is many years later, obviously Barron at this point is fuming, wanting revenge. So he finds Stephen Decatur and, wants to duel with him. So what happens is that he ends up shooting Stephen Decatur right in the gut. They rush him home to the Decatur house in hopes to try and save him. They sewed the wound 3 times, and it literally bled through all the bed sheets. It said that he even shouted, "How could there? I did not know that any man could suffer so much pain." Which, I mean, a guy saying that, it's a lot. So yeah, unfortunately, it became too much to bear, and he ended up passing away. His wife literally went into hysterics and had to be sedated in order to calm her down. She never recovered from that, obviously. But yeah, Stephen Decatur's ghost appeared almost immediately following his death. People would see him looking outside of the top floor window, looking onto the street as if watching for Barron. In fact, the apparition showed up so much that they had to eventually board up the window. Some can still see him, however, in the early evening, walking outside with 2 pistols. Perhaps Decatur must relive this fateful duel. Perhaps each time he hopes, maybe this will be the time that I win, and he can actually depart. One can hope, at least, that in death, his excruciating pain is dissipated.